Hello, welcome to this video where I'm going to showcase a set of battles between two players from the Sylph World Competition for factions. 8 teams from each region, LATAM, North America, Europe and APAC, have qualified for this tournament to become the best faction in the world. And we'll probably see different battles every week, different metas. Can't say it right now because this video is pre-recorded, but let's take a look at this matchup that we have right here now. For the final round that I have to showcase here in bout number 1, the matchups between the world's qualified players, we have two youngsters here. And yes, this is again the Echo Field. I am very aware we have most of them in Open Grey League or Echo Field, but I don't choose that. Let's take a look at our competitors here. We have on the left Paulinhotad and we have on the right Snotsss. Let's take a look at the achievements of these players. So the first up, Paulinhotad. I don't have a lot of data or records from Paulinhotad, but he's known for one incredible achievement, and that is winning the Sao Paulo Regional of 2023. This was the biggest Play Pokemon Regional that has taken place with, I believe, about 245 participants, and Paulinhotad won this one, as we see him in the cutscene on the right, the finals against Lindo Steiner. Let's take a look at his second achievement that I noted here was his Go Battle League performance here. He got to rank 6 in Season 10, and he's been pretty consistent getting on higher rankings throughout the Go Battle League season. So really shows the flexibility and versatility of Paulinhotad here. Now let's take a look at his opponent, Snotsss. So Snotsss, a young player from the United States. I believe last year he played in the seniors division of Pokemon Go, but this year there's no more seniors division, so he's playing with the Masters now. He played at Knoxville first, but he qualified for Worlds at Milwaukee 2023, the one that in the previous video Bulk 88 won, but Snotsss got to 3rd place here. 2nd place was Kimisui, and because he already was qualified, because he won a previous tournament, the invite cascaded down to Snotsss, and that's how he qualified for Worlds. The second thing we'll take a look at here, there's not a lot of things I could find from Snotsss, is that he got pretty high on the Go Battle League leaderboard. As you see, between Season 10 and 11 there's nothing, but on Season 9 and 12 he did get there, so he does have some good performances there and he reaches Legend quite consistently, I believe. Now let's take a look at the matchup between these two players. So looking at the matchup here between Paulinhotad and Snotsss, this is the Echo Field, so show 8, ban 2. This looks like a quite neutral matchup, and you can really go anywhere with the bans here. Let's take a look at what these players banned from each other. We see here an interesting choice from Snotsss. I think he really wanted to make his Galvantula stronger, right? Bans the Alolan Ninetales, that could have been Charm. And obviously there's not a lot of Charm resistance on Snotsss' team besides the Charizard, which is quite fragile anyway. And the Credilli that could probably like one-shot the Galvantula. But it looks like for Snotsss that it didn't really work out, because Paulinhotad banned his Galvantula, so that's quite unfortunate. I'm not exactly sure why the Jellicent, because he does have the Mandibuzz, the Frostlass, and the Alolan Raichu to deal with that, also his own Credilli, of course. But banning that Jellicent does free up the Vigoroth for Paulinhotad, so that does make sense in that regard. Let's take a look at these battles that we have here. One thing that I do want to say is that Paulinhotad's recording in game number 2 and 3 crashes, so you might just want to stay focused on Snotsss' recording, which I cut a little bit from the upside because he kept getting messages. So on the left side you see shields, on the right side you see a proper recording. Let's say it like that. We have here Vigoroth into Charizard. This is a little bit of a iffy matchup. I would say slightly favorable for the Charizard, of course, resisting the counters. If you no-shield this will take out the Vigoroth, and it does get no-shielded right away by Paulinhotad. So, interesting start of this match. What do you come in with here? The energy from Zard can be taken quite well by the Milotic. Looks like Paulinhotad brings in the Charizard instead. Going for a Farna probably, and a bait from Snotsss. A Blast Burn will probably do about 50%, even though resisted. You might also see that the recordings might misalign at some point. That might be Discord recordings once more. Anyway, Dranclaw coming through, no shield by Paulinhotad. He no shields. He makes his shielding thoughts. He makes his mind up on shielding really quickly. Either really good counting or he just has a plan there. Blast Burn coming in here on the Kofagrigus. Now the recording really gets misaligned, so I would just suggest looking at the right side. Yeah, another move here. That is another Blast Burn. This is gonna do so much damage on the Kofal. I'm likely putting it very low into the red here. Yeah. And in the back is that Melodic. Now this is yeah, you shield the Shadow Ball. This does do a lot of damage. That's the thing about Kofagrigus. It only really has expensive charge moves. And now bringing in the Quagsire, which has... Is that Acid Spray? That's Sludge Bomb. It has Sludge Bomb Earthquake. Interesting choice of moveset here. So it doesn't even have Stone Edge for Charizard from Paulinhotad. Doesn't have Stone Edge for Melodic from Paulinhotad. This is a very interesting moveset. If it works, I guess. And let's see. Surf coming in does shield that. And I like this shield because you know that it's very unlikely that Milotic gets to a Surf and a Hyper Beam. This is only a Surf. It will do a moderate chunk of damage, but Quagsire is not the most fragile and will hang on there. And going for another Earthquake. How much HP did that Charizard have again? Earthquake going through, takes out Melodic. And oh man, Macho down the Charizard. Didn't even reveal the Sludge Bomb, so at least you have that going for you. I'm not sure what you want Sludge Bomb for exactly. I feel like he got a wrong moveset here, because Sludge Bomb does nothing for you in this matchup, I think, right? Please tell me if I'm crazy. Maybe Snotsss himself wants to tell us his thoughts on that. Let's take a look at game number 2. So again, Paulinhotad's recording crashes halfway there, but at least that's where the shields are visible. We have here Obstagoon into Melodic, and I'm guessing that's not really where Paulinhotad likes it, because he does have the Vigoroth in the back. And Vigoroth is kind of what you want on the Obstagoon. And that's probably pretty scary, because if you think there's Kofagrigus in the back, which still does pretty decent against Vigoroth, this is definitely not looking good for Paulinhotad. Let's take a look here. Another Night Slash gonna come through right here. Really good timing by Snotsss just right before the next Surf. And Paulinhotad puts up a shield here, wants the switch advantage. And barely not able to get to another one. Good timing from Paulinhotad as well. And it looks like Snotsss is just happy with taking the shield advantage here. Makes sense. Let's see what he farmed down. With the Charizard, does Melodic get to another Surf here? Oh, it doesn't. That's a massive farm down. That's massive. This is looking really, really good for for Snotsss at this point. Being a shield up plus so much energy on your party hat, Charizard, and in comes Vigoroth. Vigoroth's not going to appreciate any of this energy. No shields immediately. I don't think this KOs though. This does do a lot of damage, but it's only regular Charizard, so it doesn't KO. You still get the body slam off. It looks like he's putting it all on the Mandibuzz, really hoping for that Kofagrigus in the back. And we see it is. It's also Air Slash Mandibuzz, so you have a bit more fast move pressure here. Going for the first shield there. I think that Snotsss gets easily to another Blast Burn here with the Charizard. And you need to chip this Mandibuzz, because Kofagrigus does not have player. And look, another Blast Burn coming in. This thing threw like 3 Blast Burns already. And going for a foul play just right before that Dranclaw. That makes sense. As you see now, the left side is going to freak out. Now let's just focus on the right side here. I'm just gonna hide it real quick. Yeah. All right. So Kofagrigus at this point has to get to Shadow Ball, and look at that. Snotsss anticipating the catch there. Now only really has to get to 2 charge moves there. Yeah, Shadow Ball, even though resistance still, is always a good move. Especially when same type attack bonus. And I'm pretty sure it's going to take out the Mandibuzz from this point. Air Slash sneaks through. Doesn't really matter. That wins this game for Snotsss. So very well played there. I really like the Charizard play. Keeping the shield, getting the perfect farm down. And then put him at such an advantage. Even though he had Kofal Mandibuzz in the variant. So switch was important, so was energy. Let's take a look at the decisive number game here. We have Mandibuzz into Obstagoon. I think Paulinhotad's recording halfway crashes once more here. So this is a very neutral matchup with Snarl. I believe Obstagoon wins this matchup in the even shields. But with Air Slash, it's much more neutral. Again, Air Slash is not a good fast attack, but since Mandibuzz is so bulky and it's the same type of attack bonus as well, it's still going to put in a very good work. And saving all the energy, going into Milotic there. Interesting. See what Paulinhotad's plan is here. I'm not a fan of this because this only gives Obstagoon the opportunity to boost, and you don't want that. But it's also the case that Snotsss doesn't have an answer for the for the Milotic as well. Going for another Night Slash here is putting a lot of pressure here on the Milotic. But man, yeah, now he brings in the Cofagrigus. That makes sense because the Cofagrigus does not want to be on Mandibuzz. He's going to soak up all this energy here. Problem is, if you lose switch advantage there, your Cofagrigus could very well be aligned to the Mandibuzz with energy. You don't want that. This does give Paulinhotad, however, the opportunity to, as we see his screen crash once more. This does give Paulinhotad the opportunity to gain more energy here, but it looks like he's just going to throw immediately. Interesting. Interesting. Power play coming in, takes out the Cofagrigus. Let's see. And Obstagoon comes back in, and there is Charizard. Now, this is great for Snotsss because even just a Night Slash already does a very, very nice chunk of damage here on the Charizard. As we see, it does about 40% there. At this point, you might be able to just Wing Attack down or go straight Dragon Claw either way. You do have 2 shields, so you might just be able to Wing Attack down here. Or just double Dragon Claw either way. Dragon Claw coming in. Likely get shielded. Yep. Charizard has slight energy advantage from Paulinhotad, so... Man, going 1 over, but Paulinhotad makes that read to get the CMP here. That hurts. That really hurts. But it's only another Dragon Claw. You barely live that. Dragon Claw coming in. This will likely take out Charizard. And then I think there's only Mandibuzz left. But I also think it has a shield. I don't think you win this battle. Dragon Claw coming in. It does get shielded. How much energy is Obstagoon have? It has no energy. It has no energy. It looks like Snotsss is going to lose this battle. Yep. And yeah, if he shielded, there may have been a shield. There may have been a shield KO actually. If he did shield, I would have loved to see that actually. It's always good content. Either way, that is a 2-1 win for Snotsss against Paulinhotad, a battle against the youngsters, and that was also the final battle of bout number 1. For next week, we have 3 battles to show. Stay tuned for that. They will definitely be on my channel later this week. Hope you liked the video and have a good one.